Hey there, welcome back. Today, we're going to take your website from meh to wow with a sleek, interactive hover effect for social media icons. Picture this, you've got your Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram icons on your site, but with a fun twist. When you hover over them, tooltips pop up with the platform's name and a smooth hover animation kicks in. Simple, fun, and a great way to make your site feel more dynamic. So, buckle up and make sure to hit that subscribe button because we're about to dive into some coding magic. Let's go. Alright, let's kick things off with the HTML. First, we're focusing on the elements in the body section. No need to rush, we're breaking it down step by step. Here, we're adding a UL class social icons list. This unordered list is going to hold all our social media icons, and the social icons list class will be our secret weapon for styling later on. Inside this list, we're adding the first lie class, social icon item Facebook icon. This list item represents the Facebook icon. The social icon item is the common class for all icons, and Facebook icon helps us style this particular one. Next, we throw in a span class tooltip text with the text Facebook. This is the magical text that will appear when you hover over the Facebook icon. Simple, right? Now, we bring in an SVG element. SVGs are like the superheroes of images. They scale perfectly without losing quality. The specific SVG here is the Facebook logo. You'll notice it's got attributes like viewbox, height, and fill that help us control the size and color of the SVG. We do the same thing for Twitter and Instagram, adding their respective items with Twitter icon and Instagram icon. Each gets a tooltip and a corresponding SVG for the logos. Once we wrap that up, we close the UL and body tags, bringing it all together. So, to sum up, we've got a list of social media icons, each with a tooltip that shows the platform's name when you hover. Looks pretty sweet, huh? Let's quickly check it out in the browser. Now, let's dive into the CSS. First up, we style the body. We set the height to 100 VH, which ensures the body fills the entire height of the viewport. No more awkward white space. We remove any margin and padding by setting them to 0, so we get a nice clean slate. We use DisplayFlex to center everything horizontally and vertically, making it look all neat and tidy. Justify content centers everything, and align items make sure it's perfectly aligned vertically. For the background, we're setting a dark color to give our project a cool, modern vibe. We also set the font family to Poppins, because who doesn't love a good sans serif font? Next, let's work on the social icons list. We use display inline flex so the icons sit in a neat row, like a little social media army. We remove the default list bullets with list style none and set padding and margin to 0 to make sure nothing's sticking out like an awkward turtle. Justify content center keeps the icons centered horizontally. Now we turn our attention to each individual icon with the social icon item selector. We start by setting position relative to position the tooltip properly. We set the background color to make the icons pop. Then, we add a border radius of 50% to turn these squares into circles. The margin of 10 pixels adds some space between the icons. No one likes crowded icons, right? We make the width and height 50 pixels so they're all uniform. We adjust the font size to 18 pixels to make sure the tooltip text fits inside. To center the content inside the icons, we use DisplayFlex, Justify Content Center, and Align Items Center. Basically, we're treating the icons like VIPs in a red carpet event. Now, let's add a subtle box shadow with a nice RGBA value for a little depth and set cursor pointer to let users know these icons are clickable. Now for the fun part, the tooltip. We target tooltip text and set its position to absolute so it can float above the icon like a helpful ghost. We place it at the top with a 0 value and add some padding to make sure the text doesn't get all squished. The font size is set to 14 pixels for readability, and we give it a white background with white text, so sleek. We also give it rounded corners with border radius 5 pixels. The best part? We make the tooltip invisible at first by setting opacity to 0 and pointer events to none. We want the tooltip to stay hidden until the magic happens on hover. We even throw in a smooth transition of 0.3 seconds with a cubic Bezier effect for that slick hover animation. Time for a little CSS magic with the tooltip text before pseudo element. This lets us add a small arrow effect under the tooltip. We set its position to absolute and place it just below the tooltip with bottom set to -3 pixels. To center it, we set left to 50% and use transform translate x -50% to perfectly align it. A quick rotation of 45 degrees gives it that sharp, stylish arrow look. Again, we add a transition of 0.3 seconds for that seamless bouncing animation when you hover hover over the icon. Now, let's work on the hover effect for the tooltip. When you hover over the social icon, we set the tooltip's top to -45 pixels. Move it above the icon and make it fully visible with opacity set to 1 and visibility set to visible. We also enable pointer events so users can interact with the tooltip. To make it pop, we add a text shadow to the tooltip for better visibility. Here comes the tricky part, so pause for a sec. Think about this. We're changing the background color of the icons when you hover over them. This involves styling the hover state for each icon individually. If you've got questions or thoughts, don't be shy. Leave a comment below and let's chat about it. We've got the Facebook icons hover, the Twitter icons hover, and the Instagram icons hover. Each one gets a unique background color and white text when hovered. Plus, we style the tooltip text and the little arrow to match the hover effect. Everything looks clean, polished, and interactive. Alright, now that we've got our hover effects down, let's take a step back. Our icons are ready to shine. Each one has its own color when hovered, and they're fully interactive. Looks awesome, right? And that's a wrap. I hope you had fun creating these awesome social media hover effects. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more web development goodness. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep coding and stay creative.